Hey, Secret Seekers! Welcome to another shocking episode of Behind the Fame, where today we're diving into Hollywood's golden age, an era that glittered on the surface but concealed some of entertainment's darkest secrets. Think modern celebrity scandals are shocking? Wait until you hear what the studio system managed to keep hidden for decades. From mysterious deaths on luxurious yachts, to forced drug addictions, from mob hits disguised as suicides, to secret children hidden in plain sight. These aren't just scandals. They're the stories that shaped Hollywood's very foundation. We've uncovered 20 of the most explosive secrets that powerful studios tried to bury, some so shocking that they weren't revealed until everyone involved had taken their secrets to the grave. Get ready, Fame family, because these revelations will change everything you thought you knew about your favorite Golden Age stars. 1. The party that ended in death. Fatty Arbuckle's Dark Night. In 1921, Hollywood faced its first major scandal, one that would set a chilling precedent for the dark underbelly of fame. Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle, comedy's brightest star, attended a party that would end in tragedy and forever tarnish his legacy. Behind closed doors in a San Francisco hotel room, something sinister occurred between Arbuckle and young actress Virginia Rappe. Her screams echoed through the walls, but what happened in that room remained shrouded in mystery. Days later, Rappe was dead from a ruptured bladder, and whispers of rape and manslaughter filled Hollywood's corridors. Though 3 trials would ultimately clear Arbuckle's name, the shadow of that fatal night would haunt him until his dying day. 2. Mother and Son. The Brady Bunch's hidden romance. While the Brady Bunch portrayed the perfect American family, a secret relationship threatened to shatter that wholesome image. In 1992, Barry Williams revealed a shocking truth in his autobiography. He had once dated Florence Henderson, the woman America knew as his TV mother. The truth emerged. When Williams was just 16, he took the 36-year-old Henderson to dinner. Though the evening ended innocently with a goodnight kiss on the cheek, the revelation exposed the complex relationships lurking behind television's perfect family facade. Henderson, married with 4 children at the time, later claimed she had no idea of the teenage Williams's romantic intentions. 3. The lost film, Joan Crawford's buried past. Before she became Hollywood royalty, teenage Joan Crawford harbored a secret that MGM would spend a fortune to bury. Velvet Lips, a scandalous adult film from her desperate early days, threatened to destroy her carefully crafted image. The studio's notorious fixer, Eddie Mannix, orchestrated an elaborate operation to erase this shadow from Crawford's past. The stakes were high. $100,000 in cash, a fortune at the time, was offered to silence those who possessed the film. But money wasn't Mannix's only weapon. Whispers circulated of mob connections and deadly threats, painting a darker picture of Hollywood's determination to protect its stars. To this day, no copy of Velvet Lips has ever surfaced, leaving us to wonder about the true extent of MGM's deadly cleanup operation. 4. The Mobster's Last Dance. Lana Turner's deadly romance. In 1958, Hollywood glamour collided with underworld darkness when screen goddess Lana Turner's 14-year-old daughter was arrested for murder. The victim? Johnny Stompanato, Turner's mobster boyfriend, found stabbed to death in the star's elegant Beverly Hills mansion. The official story painted a picture of maternal protection, young Cheryl Crane defending her mother from Stompanato's violent assault. But whispers painted a different picture. Some claimed Turner herself had wielded the knife, orchestrating an elaborate cover-up using her own daughter as a shield. The truth died with Stompanato that night, leaving behind one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Who really struck the fatal blow in Lana Turner's mansion? 5. The Suicide Note. Paul Bern's last comedy. Hollywood power couple Jean Harlow and Paul Bern seemed to have it all, until that fateful night in 1932, when their mansion became a crime scene. Bern's body was discovered alongside a cryptic note to Harlow that ended with words that would haunt Hollywood forever. you understand that last night was only a comedy. But the mystery deepened with the emergence of Dorothy Millette, Byrne's former love, who had spent a decade in a coma. On the night of his death, Byrne had invited Millette to their home, forcing Harlow to leave. The next morning brought his death, and 9 days later, Millette's body surfaced in a river. 2 deaths, 1 mysterious note, and a comedy that no one could explain, leaving us to wonder what really happened in the final hours of Paul Byrne's life. 6. The studio's dark diet, Judy Garland's forced transformation. Behind the rainbow that made her famous, Judy Garland endured a nightmare of studio control that would ultimately claim her life. At just 14, MGM's newest star found herself trapped in a sinister cycle of pills and emotional abuse. Studio head Louis B. Mayer's cruel nickname for her, "My Little Hunchback," was just the beginning. By 18, MGM had Garland on a devastating regimen: pep pills to stay alert, sleeping pills to rest, all while limiting her diet to chicken soup and cigarettes. The studio's barbaric methods created a dependency that would haunt her until her death at 47. But perhaps most chilling was the industry's normalization of this abuse. Garland wasn't their only victim, just their most famous casualty. While audiences marveled at her voice, few knew the price she paid for every note. 7. The Diet Pill Factory, Hollywood's chemical control. Behind the glittering facade of Hollywood's golden age lay a dark laboratory of chemical manipulation. MGM's secret weapon wasn't just makeup and lighting. It was a calculated system of vitamin shots and pills that turned young starlets into malleable dolls. Debbie Reynolds was among those targeted, though she was one of the lucky few who refused the studio's health treatments. What the public saw as Hollywood glamour was actually a calculated system of amphetamines and barbiturates designed to maintain the perfect studio-mandated figure. While Debbie Reynolds escaped this fate, countless other stars weren't so fortunate, becoming unwitting guinea pigs in the studio's twisted beauty experiments. 8. The Forced Sacrifice, Hollywood's secret abortions. In the golden age of cinema, studios didn't just control their stars' public images, they commanded their very bodies. A shocking system emerged. Actresses who became pregnant at inconvenient times were given false names and quietly shuttled to discreet facilities. Joan Crawford, Jean Harlow, and even Judy Garland found themselves caught in this web of forced medical procedures. The studio's power reached far beyond the screen, dictating the most intimate aspects of their stars' lives. These secret procedures, performed under aliases and buried in medical records, reveal the true extent of Hollywood's control over its female stars. 9. Call of the Secret Child, Clark Gable's Hidden Heir. When Clark Gable starred in The Call of the Wild in 1935, he answered a different kind of call, one that would result in Hollywood's most carefully orchestrated cover-up. Despite being married to Maria Langham, Gable's affair with co-star Loretta Young produced more than just on-screen chemistry. As Young's pregnancy became impossible to hide, she embarked on an elaborate deception, fleeing the country when she began to show. She gave birth in California only to adopt her own daughter later. For 31 years, Judy lived without knowing her true parentage, while Gable, Hollywood's king, never publicly acknowledged his secret princess. 10. The Beatles versus Jesus, Lennon's divine controversy. When John Lennon casually remarked that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus in a 1966 London interview, he unknowingly lit a fuse that would explode across America. The comment, initially unremarkable in Britain, became a cultural bombshell when reprinted months later in an American teen magazine. The response was apocalyptic. Radio stations staged mass Beatles record burnings, death threats poured in, and the band's music was banned across multiple states. The controversy revealed the dangerous intersection of fame, religion, and cultural division, forcing the biggest band in the world to confront the power of their own influence. 11. The Forbidden Romance, Ingrid Bergman's Scandal. Behind the cameras of Stromboli in 1949, another kind of drama was unfolding. Ingrid Bergman, America's sweetheart and married mother, found herself drawn into a passionate affair with Italian director Roberto Rossellini. When pregnancy forced their secret into the open, the backlash was unprecedented. Hollywood's perfect lady was suddenly branded a powerful influence for evil. Both married at the time, their affair resulted in public condemnation from religious leaders and politicians alike. Their eventual marriage and 2 children couldn't erase the scandal that transformed Bergman from beloved star to morality tale. Yet, in this darkness lay redemption. Bergman would eventually reclaim her career and public favor, proving that even the most scandalous secrets couldn't permanently dim her star. 12. The Drowning Truth, Natalie Wood's Final Night. On a cold November night in 1981, Hollywood's dark waters claimed one of its brightest stars. Natalie Wood, the 3-time Oscar nominee who had captivated audiences since childhood, vanished from the yacht's splendor under circumstances that remain murky to this day. Aboard the boat that night, her husband, Robert Wagner, co-star Christopher Walken, and a web of contradictions that would haunt Hollywood for decades. What began as a weekend cruise became a deadly mystery when Wood's body was found floating in the Pacific. Though initially ruled an accident, new evidence emerged about an argument between Wood and Wagner that fateful night. By 2018, when the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department announced they were still working on the case, it became clear that some Hollywood secrets refused to stay buried. Think these Hollywood stories are shocking? We're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and join our Behind the Fame family, where we expose the real stories Hollywood doesn't want you to know. Your daily dose of truth begins with one click. 13. The Stolen Childhood, Jackie Coogan's Lost Fortune. Before laws protected child actors, Jackie Coogan learned the cruel price of early fame. By 18, he had earned $4 million starring alongside Charlie Chaplin, but discovered a devastating truth. He wouldn't see a penny of it. His own parents had spent every dollar, leaving him virtually penniless. Coogan's battle for his earnings exposed Hollywood's darkest exploitation, the systematic theft of child stars' fortunes by their own families. His lawsuit, which netted him a mere $126,000 after legal fees, sparked a revolution in child actor protection. From this betrayal emerged the Coogan Law, ensuring future child stars wouldn't share his fate. 14. The Yacht Party Mystery, Thomas Ince's Last Toast. Thanksgiving 1924, Hollywood pioneer. Thomas Ince boards William Randolph Hearst's luxury yacht for a celebration. Days later, he's dead. The official story cited indigestion, but Hollywood's Whisper Factory told a darker tale. Was Ince simply the victim of natural causes, or did he stumble into a deadly love triangle? Rumors persisted that media tycoon Hearst, suspecting an affair between his mistress and Charlie Chaplin, accidentally shot Ince instead of his intended target. The truth disappeared into the Pacific, along with any evidence that might have exposed one of Hollywood's most notorious cover-ups. 15. Disney's Dark Alliance, Walt's Nazi Connections. Behind Mickey Mouse's cheerful facade lurked uncomfortable connections to the Third Reich. When Nazi filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl visited Hollywood in 1938, most studio doors remained firmly closed, except Walt Disney's. Despite her reputation as Hitler's favorite propagandist, Disney personally toured her through his kingdom. This wasn't just Southern hospitality. Disney's welcome of Riefenstahl, creator of Triumph of the Will, raised disturbing questions about his sympathies. The incident exposed the complex web of relationships between pre-war Hollywood and Nazi Germany. 16. Superman's Kryptonite, the Death of George Reeves. When Superman fell in 1959, the official verdict was suicide. But for many, George Reeves's death remained shrouded in suspicion. Found shot in his Benedict Canyon home, the evidence suggested something far more sinister than self-destruction. The plot thickened with revelations about Reeves's affair with Toni Mannix, wife of MGM executive Eddie Mannix. a man known for mob connections and fixing Hollywood's problems. The same Eddie Mannix who had handled the Joan Crawford scandal years earlier. Was Reeves's death really suicide? Or had Superman finally met an enemy he couldn't defeat? 17. The Master's Obsession, Hitchcock's Dark Pursuit. Long before Me Too, Alfred Hitchcock wielded his power as Hollywood's master of suspense to terrorize his leading lady. Tippi Hedren, the elegant star of The Birds, found herself trapped in a real-life horror story when the legendary director became dangerously fixated on her. Behind the scenes of their 1960s collaborations lurked a predatory game. Hitchcock installed a secret door between his office and her dressing room, made unwanted physical advances, and created an atmosphere of constant surveillance. His obsession manifested in increasingly disturbing ways, using his position to isolate and control her. In her memoir, Hedren finally revealed the true extent of her torment. He would find some way to express his obsession with me, as if I owed it to him. 18. The Young Brides, Charlie Chaplin's darkest comedy behind the little tramp's lovable persona, lay a disturbing pattern that spanned 4 marriages. Charlie Chaplin, Hollywood's greatest comedian, harbored a preference that would shock modern sensibilities: his attraction to extremely young women. His first 2 wives were both 16 when they married. Chaplin was 29 and 35 respectively. To bypass California's age restrictions for his second marriage, he took his young bride to Mexico. When he finally married an older woman at 47, she was still only 20. His final marriage at 54 was to an 18-year-old. Each union revealed Hollywood's willingness to overlook disturbing age gaps when stars were involved. 19. The Agent's Blood, Joan Bennett's career-ending scandal. In 1951, Hollywood witnessed the violent collision of jealousy, suspicion, and gunfire. Walter Wanger, producer and husband to star Joan Bennett, overheard his wife in conversation with her longtime agent, Jennings Lang. What happened next would destroy 3 careers. In a fit of rage, Wanger pulled out a gun and shot Lang, specifically aiming for his groin. Though Lang survived, the incident's aftermath proved fatal to Bennett's career. Wanger served just 4 months in jail, but Bennett paid the ultimate Hollywood price. Her star power never recovered from the scandal. 20. Death Scene, the Twilight Zone tragedy. In 1982, what should have been movie magic turned into real-life horror on the set of Twilight Zone the movie. During a Vietnam War scene, a horrific helicopter crash claimed 3 lives: actor Vic Morrow and 2 child actors, Renee Chen and Micah Din Lee, who were hired despite California's child labor laws. The tragedy led to the first ever criminal charges against a film director for on-set deaths. Though director John Landis and 4 others were ultimately acquitted, the incident exposed the deadly price of Hollywood's pursuit of realistic special effects. 21. The Comedian's Last Laugh, Ted Healey's Mystery. The man who created the Three Stooges met his end in a puzzle worthy of a noir film. In 1937, Ted Healey was found beaten to death outside Hollywood's Trocadero nightclub, but the circumstances of his death spawned multiple contradicting narratives. The involvement of future James Bond producer Cubby Broccoli, actor Wallace Beery, and a New York gangster were all suggested in various accounts. Most intriguing was the alleged cover-up by MGM mogul Louis B. Mayer and fixer Eddie Mannix, the same man connected to multiple Hollywood scandals. The truth behind Healey's death remains one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. And there you have it. Truth Seekers. 20 dark secrets that prove Hollywood's golden age wasn't always so golden. These stories remind us that behind every studio-crafted image lies a deeper, often darker truth. Which revelation shocked you the most? Was it Superman's suspicious death? Disney's hidden connections? Or perhaps the truth behind Judy Garland's diet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to join our Fame family by hitting subscribe and that notification bell. Because trust me, we've only scratched the surface of Hollywood's buried secrets. Until next time, remember, in Hollywood, the most dangerous secrets are the ones they fought hardest to hide.